Good morning, students. Today we are going to start a new chapter, Moving Charges and Magnetism. Now, in 1820, a famous physicist known as Hans Christian Ørsted, he discovered that, or he noticed while he was demonstrating an experiment in his classroom, that a compass needle, a magnetic compass needle, when placed near a current carrying conductor, shows some deflection. So he started to think, and later he reversed the battery, and he found that when current is flowing in the reverse order in the circuit, the compass needle is showing opposite side deflection. So he started to study this phenomena in detail, and at the end he concluded that moving charges or current produces magnetic field. Now what is a magnetic field? It is, if you have a magnet, imagine you have a bar magnet, then that bar, if you place the bar magnet in a place, surrounding to that bar magnet, there will be an area where the field or where the force of that magnet can be experienced. So later, two scientists known as Biot and Savart formulated an equation to find what is the magnetic field at a point if current is flowing through a conductor. So imagine you have a conductor X, Y. Okay, through this conductor an I amount of say 1 ampere or 1 milliampere amount of current is flowing. So when current is flowing through a conductor as discovered by Christian Hans, there will be a field around the conductor. Now you want to find out what is the magnetic field, magnitude of magnetic field at point P near to the conductor. So Biot and Savart, they formulated an equation which relates the magnetic field at a point to the current flowing through the conductor, and this equation is known as Biot-Savart's law. For that, what we do is we take a small portion of the conductor of length dl. Now this portion has a direction along the direction of flow of current, so it's taken as a vector quantity, current element. It is a dl, it is a vector quantity. And we are going to observe what is the field at point P. For that, you draw a displacement vector from dl to point P. And theta is the angle between the current element and the displacement vector. Okay. Now, according to Biot-Savart, the magnetic field at point P is proportional to current flowing through the conductor. It is proportional to the length, current element. It is proportional to sine of angle theta between the current element and the displacement vector, and it is inversely proportional to the square of distance between the current element and the point of observation, which means if the point of observation is further away, the field will definitely decrease. On combining all these, we get dB proportional to I dl sine theta by r square. Now what we do in maths, we change the proportionality sign. To change the proportionality sign, we introduce a constant, and that constant is k. Now experimentally, it is found that the value of k is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi. So k is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi, where mu 0 is known as permeability of free space. Like permittivity in electrostatics, we have permeability in magnetism, and its value is 10 raised to minus 7 Tesla meter ampere raised to minus 1. Now we introduce the constant value to the equation, we get dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl sine theta by r square, or in vector form. It's magnetic field, it's a field, so definitely there will be a direction. So we express Biot-Savart's law in vector form as vector dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I vector dl into vector r. So dl cross r. So dl cross r, so its resultant is a vector product. Last we have studied if A and B are two vectors, and if you take the cross product of those two vectors, then the resultant will be a vector which is perpendicular to both A and B. So now we are going to find out, in this case our vectors is r, dl and r. And we are going to find out what is the direction of the vector magnetic field at point P. Okay. So what is the direction? We got the magnitude using Biot-Savart's law. Next we are going to find out what is the direction of the field at point P. So how will you find the direction? We use the right hand screw rule. Okay, imagine I have a screw in my hand, okay, and I am going to keep it perpendicular to point P. And I am going to turn my screw in the direction DL to R. DL cross R. So this is my screw and I am turning from DL. Okay, this is DL, this is R. I am crossing it from DL to R. So what will happen to my screw? The tip of my screw will go into the board, isn't it? Which means the field is going perpendicular into the plane of the board. And same condition can happen in the reverse order. If suppose I am taking a point here, I want to find out what is the field at this particular point. Definitely I can use the Biot-Savart's law, but I want to know what is the direction. Okay. I want to know what is the direction at this particular point. So magnitude I can find using Biot-Savart's. What is the direction? So we draw a displacement vector from a current element. So this is a displacement vector. This is R, and what we are doing? We are crossing from DL to R. I am crossing my screw from DL to R. So what will happen? My screw will come out. The tip of the screw will come out, isn't it? So the field will be perpendicular to the plane of the board, but coming out. And to show the field is coming out, coming towards you, use a dot. So these two things you have to keep in mind. If the field is going into the plane, then we use the cross. If your field is coming towards you, we would use dot. Okay. So direction of dB is the direction of vector dl cross r, and it is given by right hand screw rule, and in our case it is found that the direction of field dB is perpendicular to and into the plane of the paper. So next we got the equation dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl sin theta by r square. Now we are going to apply some special conditions here. So imagine this is my conductor, this is the current element dl. Okay. Now imagine I am going to find out what is the field at this particular point. Okay. What is the field at this particular point? So what will be the angle between the displacement vector and dl? It will be equal to 0. So what will be the equation for Hamilton sin 0? Sin 0 is 0. So what happens to a magnetic field? Magnetic field become equal to 0, which means magnetic field is 0 at the point on the axis of the current element, or magnetic field is 0 along the axis of a conductor. Now imagine I am going to find out what is the field at a point exactly perpendicular to the conductor. So what will be the angle of theta? Theta will be equal to 90 degree. So sin 90 is 1. So what we will get? dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl by r square. That is the maximum value of field which you can obtain. So magnetic field is maximum in the plane passing through the element, that is the current element, and perpendicular to the axis. Next we are going to compare Biot-Savart's law to Coulomb's law in electrostatics. Now what is Biot-Savart's law? What is the importance of Biot-Savart's law in magnetism? Same is Coulomb's law for electrostatics. And you know that according to Biot-Savart's law, the magnetic field at a point is dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl sin theta by r square. And in electrostatics, according to Coulomb's law, the electric field at a point P, whatever it is, a point, is given by dE is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 dq by r square. Now, if you look into these two equations, you can find there are certain similarities whereas dissimilarities. First we go into similarity. See, in both the case, the electric field and magnetic field, it is inversely proportional to the square of distance from the source, that is in the case of magnetism or conductor, in electric field it is a point charge, from the conductor or from the source to the point of observation. Now second, both these fields are long range, and the third point is you have studied in electrostatics, you can, if there are n number of charges in space, you want to find out what is the field at a particular point. What do? You find the field of each charge and you add. So principle of superposition is applicable there. In the same way, in magnetism, imagine you have n number of sources which produces magnetic field. I'll give you an example later. You have n number of sources. Okay. Now, if you want to find out what is the field due to the n number of sources at a particular point, what do you have to do? You have to find out the field of each source to the point and you add, you get the final effect or final field. So, principle of superposition is applicable to both electrostatics and also to electric field in electrostatics to magnetic field in magnetism. Now, let us see what are the dissimilarities. We are going to see what are the dissimilarities in case of Coulomb's law and Biot-Savart's law. Now, if you look into this equation, you can say that dB depends on sine theta, or there is an angle dependence between the current element and the displacement vector. But in electric field, there is no theta angle dependence. That is the first difference. Now, second difference, you know that charge is a scalar quantity. So, electric field is produced by a scalar quantity. Whereas, I told you current element IDL or DL, it is a vector quantity. Direction is very important. In which direction current is flowing and in which part of that conductor we are taking is very important in magnetism. Which means magnetism or magnetic field is produced by a vector quantity. So, magnetic field is due to a vector source. In our vector source is IDL. Whereas, electrostatic field is due to a scalar source, that is our charge Q. Second, the magnetic field, as I told you, the magnetic field is proportional to sine theta, but it is angle between the current element and the displacement vector, whereas there is no such angle dependence in the case of Coulomb's law for electrostatics. Now, the third point is very important. Imagine you have a point charge, okay, a stationary charge, a charge somewhere here, and you want to find out what is the field at this particular point, say Q. So, what will you do? You apply the Coulomb's law to find the magnitude of field. Now, what is the direction? What will you do? You keep a positive charge here. So, since both this is also a positive charge, if both are positive, what happens? It will repel, so field direction will be pointing outward. So, in the case of electrostatic field, the direction of the field will be along the displacement vector joining the source and the field point. It is along the displacement vector joining the source and the field point. Whereas, what is the magnetic direction of magnetic field? It is perpendicular to the plane containing the displacement vector and the current element. In our case, displacement vector dl cross r. So, the direction will be perpendicular to the plane containing dl and r. I hope you understood till what I have taken now. Thank you.